Hey, Shalom to my Akim and Akwati and Yahweh Shah Mashiach, all my brothers and sisters in the Lord. You know, I'm on the road right now and just, the Spirit's coming on me to push an important message. It's a pretty important message that I need to push out there, man. And it's going to be pretty straightforward and to the cut. We're going to be talking about the enemy being within Babylon, man. The enemy of Babylon being within, The destruction of this nation, as we know, is going to be unprecedented. What we're seeing right now with the bank runs in China, we see all the confusion and the uprising and seditions amongst men in all these other countries. Barcelona, Venezuela, Iraq, they killed a bunch of protesters out there. Hong Kong, a lot of violence going on out there. Chile. I watched a video not too long ago where there was a female who got shot in her vagina out that joint, man. Salakia, man. I'm in traffic. And I guess it's an accident up here because we have the fire trucks and ambulances and all that. But I was watching recently the protests in Chile. And there was a protest going on, and a woman had caught a live round in her pelvis, man. Her lower pelvis by her vagina, man. And she was walking around, she had on a dress, and there was just blood pouring out all on the ground, man. Just mad violence and sedition amongst men all over the world. What people fail to realize is that this same sedition and mass violence is coming to Babylon. It's coming to Babylon, y'all. And all of us in the spirit, man, we're aware of this. And we're waiting for that crack moment, that moment where it all cracks and it just, and nothing will ever be the same from that day and that moment forth. For Babylon shall be destroyed in 1 hour. Yeah, granted, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai is destabilizing this place and taking it apart little by little every day, but the ultimate destruction and a third world state that America is going to come to suddenly. The destruction of this place will be suddenly. And that's what's leading me to the spirit's leading me to really talk about this, man, concerning one particular aspect. We know that the missiles are going to be shot. We know that the ICBMs and the nukes are going to be let off on this place. I did videos on it, man. And those who trust in the Lord, man, the 1/3 and the 144,000 elect, man, we have no worries. Our only worry is to continue to fear the Most High, continue to reverence and fear the Lord, who comes in all power and authority of the Most High, who shall come in all power and authority of the Most High, and recompense judgment upon the nations and also redeem his children. But in this meantime, we're going to witness some pure hell here, man. And one of the things we're going to witness is the uprising of the incels within the walls of Babylon, right? I don't know if y'all recall me making a video. I made a video probably about 2 months ago, maybe 3. And I was talking about how I had a vision. And I had this vision, man, it had to be like maybe 2013, 2014, a couple years ago. But I never will forget it. I had a vision that me and my maiden were walking out of Giant grocery store, and I watched some low-flying jets perform carpet bombings on the civilian populace, and they blew up a apartment community. And the rubble from the explosion, and this apartment community was maybe 200 yards away from me. And this apartment community, the rubble from the explosions, of course, went up in the air and then fell on the ground and rolled to the tips of my toes, to my feet, the rubble. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that. And it stopped, the rocks stopped at my feet. And then me and my maiden looked at each other and we began running. We began running for our lives, and everyone was running for their lives. People were perplexed. People didn't know what the hell was going on. And as we were running, and this is the point of what I'm trying to make, and this gives me spiritual insight and discernment about what I'm pretty much going to be talking about in this video, about the enemy being within the gates of Babylon. While we were running in my dream, there were militants, man, and they weren't American. They were foreign militants. Man, people are impatient here, man. People are just demon possessed out here. There's obviously traffic and they're still honking. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. But as I was speaking earlier, there were militants and militias hanging out of their car windows, shooting at people as they were running after the bombing. So as the missiles were falling, and these weren't, the explosion I saw wasn't nuclear. It was like Tomahawk missiles. It was very destructive, but it was like a carpet bomb. That's the best way I can explain it. A cluster of bombs that were dropped from a jet and blew up and decimated a civilian populace of an apartment community, right? And as everybody was running, these militants, these incels, the enemy that is within the gate, ISIS, was gunning people down, man. Drive-by style, man. Drive-by style with AK-47s. They had on regular clothes, but it was like militants, but it was without the full gear. Like they weren't in camouflage or nothing like that, or fatigues. They weren't wearing that. They were wearing like I guess khaki pants, cargo khakis, boots, and they had chest rigs. Right, they had a little chest rig, which is like a vest that holds magazines, walkie-talkies, whatever. It's like a vest that holds. It's like a battle rig that you wear that holds all your necessities that you need as you commence to battle. And they had AK-47s, man, and it was punishing people as they were running. I did a video speaking on this vision, but the Holy Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, keeps this in my remembrance, and it's giving me an intuition of what's about to happen, based off what we see unfolding in the world today, right? And that dream is surely going to come to pass because the Lord, he played it to me twice. That particular vision I just told you about, I made a whole video on it, but it was revealed to me 2 times back to back in a row. In the same night, when the dream ended, it started back over to the carpet bombs, and then I already knew what was going to happen. And it played just tick for tack, everything directly again over exactly how it happened in my vision. They played 2 times in a row to the exact extent. So that was a confirmation of the Lord that this was surely going to come to pass within the walls of Babylon, within the borders of Babylon. Okay? I was watching a news report on a breaking news app that we all know that Donald Trump, they claim, I don't believe nothing. I don't believe any of this shit. I look beyond the outside of things, and I look deep within, okay, in everything. We know that Esau's a liar, okay? There's a false flag that's going to come to these states, man. And this is going to begin the destruction of our cities and the mass slaying and slaughtering of people here, primarily these Edomites, but I talk about this a lot in my videos, these judgments, man. But to put you all on game, we know that Donald Trump had allegedly had the leader of ISIS was killed with his family. They say that the guy blew himself up and no one survived, and he ran down a tunnel. He was crying and whimpering like a little baby. It's all a screenplay, man. In my eyes. But just following the narrative that the media is portraying, the leader of ISIS has been killed. And I read on the breaking news app, I believe it was yesterday, that they already have a new leader, and they're sending their little threats. And Esau, these Edomites, the everyday day-to-day, run-of-the-mill Edomite, on these comment boards, they're prideful. They're talking shit. They're like, yeah, whatever, we'll just drop a nuke on you, or, ISIS. They're totally oblivious to the chess game of wickedness that's really being played, because everything is staged and everything is being planned, even to the extent of all the wars, right? We're just here in this matrix, walking amongst the controlled variables within this end game. The end game being Agenda 21 and the forced implementation of the RFID chip and the forced downfall and destruction of the current economic structures of all the nations in the world to bring in a one world government, a one world religion, and a one world currency. That's going to be the end game. And Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not going to allow the wicked to come into the fruition of their enterprise. He's going to cut that shit short. But meanwhile, a lot of death, a lot of famine and destruction is coming, man. And it's all in prophecy, and we're watching it all unfold. And we haven't even gotten to the beginning of sorrows. We're in the beginning of sorrows, but we haven't even got through the period. We haven't even got through the entire period of the beginning of sorrows. You know what I'm saying? We're still in it. And it's going to get worse. And when it gets worse, we're still going to be in the beginning of sorrows. Right? But these ISIS cats, and we all know that ISIS was created by the CIA through the destabilization of Libya during the Obama regime. Obama and Hillary killed Gaddafi, which destabilized Libya, right? And they also weaponized and funded the Syrian rebels back in 2008. And these Syrian rebels became ISIS. The world knows this. The only ones who don't know this are the sleepy 2/3 and just the sleepy population in general, the sleepy Babylonian Americans. They're sleepy to this. They're not peeping game because the spirit is not revealing to them. They're in mirth. They're worried about the wrong things. They're not paying attention. You dig what I'm saying? You know, but the men of the Lord is keeping us sharp on our watchtowers, and we're taking note, and we're noticing everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But to get back on topic, you know, ISIS is making threats. They're saying, "Oh, you foolish Americans, you joke of a nation. Don't be so proud, man." What they're gonna do, the narrative that the elites are planning, is to have these. ISIS is already in America, y'all. That's something I need to throw out there. The Babylon's enemy, which was created by Babylon, actually, the irony of it all, right? But these ISIS troops are already here. These Russian troops, these UN peacekeepers, they're already in America. They're already here. It's not a matter of them coming over. And granted, more troops are going to come over, but they're already here. You need to understand that. They're here already. And I'm going to just give some testimonies that the Spirit led me into understanding the picture that is about to come into a full drawing, that's about to come into its fruition. Okay? I'm just giving you little pieces of it, starting with the vision that the Lord gave me years. Damn, he split the hell out the lanes. He almost tagged my mirror. Guy on his motorcycle, splitting lanes. I didn't even see him, nor hear him, till he was right up on me, man. Man, you gotta be safe and careful out here. But besides the point, man, you know, started with the vision and the dream I just shared with y'all that I had over 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And now it's coming into fruition, man. There's a staged event that, and this is all in the Spirit. There's a staged event that's about to pop off, man. And there's going to be an attack, a staged attack from the outside to where foreign militaries are going to bomb this place and bring down the cities. And simultaneously, it's going to be an attack with boots on the ground. You know? And while so Babylon, you know, the Babylon Americans, there's going to be a war in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, because according to the book of Zephaniah, we know that the Lord, I believe chapter 3, verse 8, we know the Lord's about to gather all nations that he may destroy them at the end. And the destruction that the Lord's going to bring to all the nations is illustrated in 2nd Ezra chapter 13. He's going to burn them all out with the sword of his mouth, because they're going to try to fight him upon his arrival. But the Lord's going to come back in the middle of that World War III, so it's inevitable. It's coming. But it's what's going to insinuate a lot of the death, widowhood, destruction, famine, fatherless homes, just widowhood, man. This is going to be really hard for you women, man. But what's going to really institute that, Salakia, and really solidify that is the fact that men are going to be expedited overseas to fight in that war, while there's also going to be war on American soil. Okay? These UN peacekeepers are here. The ISIS, they're already here. And the narrative that they're trying to draw through the media is like a retaliatory strike that's going to happen. Okay? And that's going to draw America damn near permanently in America. It's going to ground America in that Valley of Jehoshaphat area in Syria, in the Middle East. Okay? It's going to draw boots on ground over there in a mass way. And these other nations are going to see the fuckery, because the same game I'm putting to you, Russia already knows this. The Chinese already know this. They know that ISIS is CIA's creation. They're watching. They don't believe that the United States military killed. And even if they did, they know that there's something more to it, that they killed the ISIS leader. They know that Esau, because he's a master liar and he's a master deceiver, they know that he has something else politically up his sleeve. right? It's all over oil and all over the control of a region at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. But they know that the devil got something up his sleeve, man. So now the media's talking about ISIS already has a new leader, and don't be so proud, you proud Americans, you joke of a nation. You know, they're basically throwing dry threats. And what they're gonna do is orchestrate attack from within, man. And these people, they're gonna be out here like everything's normal. And the same thing I saw in my vision, man. It's gonna be an attack, and it's gonna be an attack from inside, man, from inside this country. And while people are frantic, running like the chased roe, you know, when every man is scattering to be amongst his own people, when people are running and all hell breaking loose, these incels are gonna be raised, and they're gonna bring hell on these people, man. These women, you might have a woman who's jogging. You know, you might have a woman who's jogging. You know, I don't know. I live in the cities. Well, I live in the city. You know what I'm saying? And I be within the cities of the DC metropolitan area. That's where I work and that's where I reside. And I see it every morning. Sometimes before the sun even rises. You see these women get out, slap on those tight, jiggly butt leggings, and throw on that tight tank top or even a sports bra. Built like a mug, though, you know, built, looking good, really. You know, we're all men, we're all Akim, we know what time it is. We're not ruled by the carnality of lust, but we know what time it is, man. You're gonna look, you're gonna see it. And these women will come out in that indecency and just start running around, jogging. There's gonna come a time where, when this attack happens, that there's gonna be women out here that are gonna be running around like that, and they're just gonna get snatched up, man. They're not even gonna be shot. Some of them might be. You know, by these incels that are gonna launch a unanimous attack. It's gonna be an attack that's gonna happen nationwide in certain pinpointed cities. It is gonna happen at the same time, and they're gonna blame it on ISIS. Okay, I'm telling you, it is gonna be ISIS. The incels are already here. Yeah, but you're gonna have that woman jogging around, man, in her nakedness, and she's gonna be snatched up, and she's gonna be pleasing that ISIS troop, man. They're gonna throw her in the car, kidnap her, take her to wherever their bug out place is, wherever their hideout is. They're gonna take her there, man. They're gonna have their way with her. We know how these Middle Easterners treat women, man. They're gonna dog it, man. The pride of Lady Liberty is gonna be stripped here, man. That whole spirit of simpism and that whole spirit is about to be removed, man. It's just gonna be a spirit of vengeance and death and judgment, and the Lord's bringing it to this place, man. You know. This is what's really going on. This is what's really happening. This was really about to pop off. When I'm out like in Giant, you know, let's say running errands, and I've noticed this a lot. Or I might be doing a Walmart run trying to get some ends. And I've been noticing this a lot, Akim. And tell me if y'all have been noticing it too. Like when I'm out and about, and I think it's primarily in the cities. Because, you know, in the country, you pretty much see mostly Edomites and Jake. You know, Edomites and African Americans, so-called African Americans, who are really Israelites, you know? That's primarily what you see. These days, you know, you're in these cities, you see a lot more foreigners, man. I'm talking about men, I'm talking about what I've been noticing, okay, let me just say it like this, not to be so long-winded about it, I'm just trying to say it in the most descriptive, best way. What I've literally been seeing is families of foreigners, not just foreigners, but Arabs or people from the Middle East region who are obviously Islamic, you know? They're obviously Islamic. And the mother would have the whole burqa on to where all you see is this. They'll be walking around, everything's covered, and all you see is this. You would think you was in Syria, man. You would think you're in Iran somewhere, dog. You know? And I'm starting to see an increase in the influx of this. And the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, quickens me spiritually. I don't say nothing. I'm not gonna say I don't care. I really don't, but I do, because I just take note of it to make sense of what is to come and what the Lord has already revealed to me. But the Holy Spirit basically quickened me with the intuition saying she is one of the families of the incels. Yeah, she is the wife of an incel. You know, if you can receive it, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. You be in this Walmart, you see a bunch of women in these burqas that are not from America. Why are they here? Not that I know why they're here. That's a theoretical question you gotta ask yourself. You know, granted you had the destabilization of Libya, and that whole area is pretty much war torn. Syria, all that is pretty much war-torn. So yeah, they might have came as immigrants, but you also have people in America who are in affiliation with ISIS. Some of them have gotten caught and incarcerated for their affiliation with ISIS in these U.S. borders, man. What they're going to do is blame it on a retaliatory strike from ISIS, and they're going to say, oh, it's because of the borders. They came through the Mexican border. Or, oh, they must have came through in the midst of the fires that were going on in California, and we were distracted fighting fires while they was just running the borders from California, taking flights over that, or I don't know. They're going to have some type, Esau's going to have some type of bullshit lie to why this has happened, and 2/3 and most of the people are going to believe it, you know. But I also used to work with I used to work with Cisco, man, Cisco Baltimore, delivering it's a food distribution company. It's actually the biggest food distribution company in North America. But I used to drive for them. I'm a trucker, right? It's irrelevant. I'm just trying to give you guys some of my background so y'all understand what I'm saying. And one day I went to help this guy out. He was a pure Russian. He was a driver there, and he was straight Russian, dude. Heavy Russian accent. And as I was getting to know him, as I was helping him out that day, because sometimes drivers get dispatched late, sometimes their trucks break down, and they'll send another driver to go, tag team the route with that guy to help him get caught back up. And it was one of those particular days, and I was helping him. So I pulled up to his trailer, and I hopped in his trailer, and we rode around and made deliveries. And man, this guy, man, honestly, he was cool, man. He was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no ill will. I didn't have no ill will or intentions towards him, But I also took note and observed certain things about his character, his personality, and his background. He was an elite force Russian. He was in the Russian armed forces, right? I didn't ask him, what the fuck are you doing over here then? I didn't say that. I just took mental note of it. So you have a lot of incels, a lot of these Russians, a lot of these Chinese that are here that are all in cahoots with the internal attack and an internal destruction of this place. And meanwhile, they're just working regular jobs like me and you. They're here. They're living amongst you all. I'm telling you, some real stuff, man. And the stuff I talk about, some people talk about and they get put to death for it. Because it's some deep state information I'm giving y'all. And it's all in the spirit. It's what the Lord is revealing to me in the spirit, piece by piece. And I'm just giving you the puzzle that's being put together through the various information I'm getting, through visions, through observations, through being led through the Ruach giving me intuition and discernment and understanding of what I'm seeing. While most of you people are just going along, la-da-da-da-da, going along life, everything's peachy creamy when the world is on fire, when everything's falling apart amongst you, and when there is an agenda that is declassified that you can look up and see for yourself and see that the elite, these Edomite elite, that they want to bring in a new world order. In order for that to happen, a lot of death and destruction has to come to pass, and it's all fruition of prophecy as well. But many people are going to be caught off guard. But pertaining to Isaiah chapter 6, man, even with this video, Salaki got a hiccup. People are going to be blinded. People are not going to care. People are not going to pay attention. People are not going to get it until the cities are brought down to desolation. When these cities are destroyed, when it is a jungle out here, when these major cities in America are brought down to third world status, when people are digging out of trash cans for food, when people's houses are blown up and the fire is still kindled on their apartment complexes and on their houses, when these cities are brought low, that's when people are going to try to understand what the hell is going on. That's when they're going to be receptive. That's when it's going to start to make sense to them. That's when Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to remove the veil from their eyes. Until then, the men of the Lord and the prophets, we're just warning, and we're getting blood off of our hands. We're washing our hands through this prophecy, man, and speaking it. And we're also doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to prove ourselves that we love him. Because our deliverance and our salvation and our abundance that's coming for us in the times of calamity is not because we deserve it. No. It's because we have hope in the faith in the compassion of the Lord, that he may have compassion on us because we've done works in which that he will give that unto us, man, according to his promises in good faith. According to his what? His compassion and his grace. But what is faith without works? So this is just works to help increase our faith and also the faith of those who are edifying, to those who may hear and may listen, who is given to hear and to listen, that we may be sealed, man. Yeah. That we may be omitted from this, but I'm just warning you people, man. It's gonna be a straight jungle out here. I worked with another guy. What job was that at? Because the Raw Hebrew had a problem, y'all. I'm a hard worker. I get it in, man. I work sometimes up to 70-hour weeks, man. I'm in the food distribution industry still, but the Raw Hebrew be coming to work 5 to 10 minutes late, and it's been kind of difficult for me to keep a job for more than a couple years. I don't know what the deal is with that, man. But you know, I pretty much worked a lot of gigs. You know, your Habashim, your Habashah, always make sure the boy's all right, man. Make sure his child is good. You know, but I can't keep a job for nothing. It's not funny. It's really effed up, man, but it's the truth. I get to work when I feel like it. I bang the job out, but I kind of do what I want. You know, but so it's hard for me to remember what exact job I was working with. I don't know if it was Reinhardt or Cisco, but I was working with another guy, and he was from Africa. It was Cisco. It was when I was at Cisco as well. And that's when I was working at Cisco Baltimore as well as a driver. There was an African guy that I went to help. And no, he actually rode with me and helped me one day. And me and him was chopping it up, and he was from the armed forces in Africa. He was in the military in Africa. But he's over here as a truck driver delivering food. Why? Why are you here? Man, they're here. Because he can probably have affiliation with the UN peacekeepers, and he's just waiting to be called. Man, it was bought out a couple years ago. I don't know if y'all recall, but it was actually bought out for a little bit. No one's really talking about it right now, but it was bought out for a little bit that that foreign troops were being bought on American soil. People were talking about this. How the U.S. government was hiring foreign troops, man. This is like back in like maybe 2012-ish, 2013-ish, when people was really bringing this out in the media and showing outrage for this. Because it's obvious what that would be for. Well, why would you hire foreign troops? Why? So they can ride out on U.S. civilians. And meanwhile, the Marine Reserve's just been activated for the occurrence of civil unrest that they may back the police departments and basically tear you people up, man, and put you people to death when there's sedition amongst men, when that sedition hits here. When those bank runs hit here. The same bank runs that are going to China. So something's about to definitely go down, man. And I feel it in the air. You know, but I just wanted to share this with y'all to let y'all know, man, the enemy is within right now. And it's all a plan of the elite to destabilize and destroy Babylon in one day, man. In 1 hour. It's going to be an external attack and an internal attack. Right? On the soil of America. You know? A lot of people not going to make it, yo. But I'm pulling up here to the U-Haul. I'm about to help my sister move her apartment. You know? Do the brotherly thing. You know, help. It's my twin sister, actually. I'm about to help her move. Get some of this furniture. And get it done for her, man. Help my sister out. But I got to give her a call because I don't see her car up here. But I'm at the location. But I just wanted to talk about this, man, and just bring this out, man. You know? But until next time, man, shalom. You know, shalom, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, y'all. All right, now.